Well, hello paddlers. Something a little bit different today. Come out for a walk, and the thing is, I've got some new gear I wanted to test. Right, tarp, hammocks, stuff like that. And my plan, after looking at maps, was to go in there and set it all up. However, can't get in, it's all been fenced off. It didn't used to be. I was here years, I mean we're talking a lot of years ago anyway. But now that gate is not just locked, it's barbed wire locked. Alright, so there's no way to get through there, to cut through. Plus all the way around there's barbed wire everywhere. So obviously that's blocked off now. However, there is like a kind of a monument type remains of a castle, if you can call it remains, which are over there, which is nothing much. Right, believe me, I remember, nothing much nowadays. But that should still be a walkway through there, like this gate's open here. So basically, we're going for a walk today, paddlers. I've been doing a lot of walking lately. Funnily enough, right, I'd been planning on, well, I'm sort of like in the process of making a kind of a funny video in a way, right, because yeah, I've been doing a lot of walking lately and trying to get a bit fitter and stuff, right, for a particular reason. I don't really want to tell you why, because that'll spoil the video, but yeah, I've been going out a lot and stuff, but there is a reason behind the video, right, because a few people have said exactly the same thing to me, and I thought, well, that don't make any sense, you know what I mean, that's just crazy, just do it type thing. And I thought I'll make a kind of a funny video to sort of like explain what a few people have said to me, if you know what I mean. And in a way it's all connected with today. But yeah, anyway, that'll be in a future video, not yet. That's just like a teaser, probably more confused than anything. But yeah, just out for a day hike, and like I said, I wanted to test out a new hammock and tarp. Wanted to give them a test run before I use them for real somewhere. Spoiler, probably 99.9% of my subscribers have already guessed, but still. But yeah, so I thought I'll kill two birds with one stone. I'll come out for a bit of a hike, well, a bit of a walk, even though there was a big hill over there, that was a bit of a hike, but yeah, come out for a bit of a walk, kill two birds with one stone if I can. Anyway, yeah, I know it's different to my normal sort of videos, but I thought you might be interested. If you're wondering how I've got the camera mounted, I've got a small backpack on from Lomo. Yeah, a Lomo backpack. It's a roll-up waterproof one. If I remember, I'll put a picture up or something or other, but it's just got sort of like day hiking gear in. Emergency stuff, well, not emergency. There's obviously, I've got my phone and a map and shit, but you know what I mean, don't need a map around here, but you know what I mean. But yeah, some food, some water. On a normal situation, I'd bring some sort of emergency shelter. Well, actually, I'd probably bring a tarp, because them little emergency shelters are pretty useless, really. Whereas the tarp is much better. So I've actually got a tarp today, but it's one I'm testing out, a new one, but still. So yeah. Oh, frack! I hope that's a step over there. So yeah, so I've got like a backpack on with like day hiking gear and just sort of like emergency stuff, first aid kit, water and that sort of stuff, just in case, you know what I mean. I know a lot of people will say, well, why if you're just going for a walk? Well, let's just look around here, look. Just take a quick look all the way around, 360. Nobody, right? Nobody about, no houses, no buildings, no nothing. Alright, so let's say I'm just walking there, I trip and I break my leg or something. Alright, I could be stuck there overnight. You get me? Yeah, I might be able to crawl somewhere, but or what happens if I trip, hit a rock on my head and I'm unconscious? You know what I mean? Or an adder gets me, that's what I'm watching out. One thing we do get in this country, bloody adders, black adders. Thanks Rome Atkinson. No, black adders. I mean, we're not talking rattlesnakes or out like in America. You know what I mean? We're not talking deadly poisonous, but they will make you extremely ill. And I suppose if you already had health conditions like me, they could kill you, I suppose, but they're not exactly poisonous snakes, as in deadly poisonous. You see, I'm going to have to walk through all that because I think that's a step over there, but I can't tell from here. I know I can't get through there. That castle-y thing I was on about's over there. So why is it all fenced off? I don't know. But yeah. Got my trekking pole in the bag as well, just to test for bogs, because you do get areas that are quite boggy, but we ain't had much rain for quite a while, so we should be fine. Rips. I'll give you a laugh. Oh, I can't show you here. Wait till we get out of it. It's to do on my shoes. Boy, did I have trouble. Oops. This is where you don't want to come face to face with uneven ground and bloody big rocks to trip on that you can't see, that's buried under the bloody grass. And so I've got a trekking pole in the bag just for stability and stuff. Could have got it out really. Shazbat! That is not a walk through. Oh, this is all changed. Yeah, I used to get in there. That's where I wanted to be. I wanted to be in there. I thought, set my tarp up, set my hammock up, sorted. Well, that's gone to the biscuits. I'm just basically heading back to where I started from. This is a bit of a letdown actually. That tree over there was some flat grass. I might just, I don't know, put the tarp out down there, and I've got my trekking pole, set a tent for set a tent configuration up. You'll see it if I do it. But oh, sun's coming out. Yeah, it's annoying that. I don't know why it's all fenced off though. I can only assume there's too many people going in there and either dumping stuff or just leaving a mess. You see it all the time on YouTube, don't you? Sort of like farmers having to block. I don't blame them, don't get me wrong, I don't blame them. Right. People complain, oh, we should be allowed to camp anywhere. You can basically camp anywhere in Scotland. Well, yeah, but you start messing the area up and stuff, the farmers are going to say no. You know what I mean? Like here, for argument's sake, if there's piles of rubbish piles up everywhere from people coming in and dumping stuff, I can see a big fence going around this bit as well. And I don't blame the property owners. I may get a few complaints about that because I know there's always the people that say, oh, it should be allowed to camp anywhere. Well, at one point you could basically camp in the farmer's field anywhere, and he didn't mind. But the problem is, Nowadays, people are just leaving a mess. Call me Gandalf. Plenty of dry dead wood. If I was camping here, there's plenty of dead wood about to have a fire. Not that I'd have a fire here, I know, I can see. Let's check this isn't covered in woodwork. There's enough, but this is way dead. I'll tell you more about the tarp once it's set up, then I can show you around it. I'll tell you one thing, all the tie-off points have extra support, extra tabs on the back. I don't know if you hear me, but it's all same steel. There you go then. Okay paddlers, this next bit might get a bit confusing because my SD card froze. Now I did have a spare SD card which I put in, but I didn't realise straight away, so there's a bit of footage missing. So for the first 10 seconds of this next bit it might be a little bit confusing. Also, a lady turned up and apparently I was on private land and she thought I was camping, and I tried to explain to her I don't have sleeping bags or anything, I'm not camping, I was just testing something, and I apologised, but I was told to move. But I do explain that when I get back to the car. Anyway, let's just get on with it and you'll figure it out yourselves. Just leave this running until the battery runs out now. I'm assuming then you're either meant to go, but there's a fence down there. Oh, I don't know, it's not as if I come here all the bloody time anyway. Unless the lady was just telling me porky pies because she thought I was gonna camp there the night. Don't know. But why would this be here if it's illegal? Go back the way I came. Can't get lost then. Hello. paddlers, I'm just going to add this little bit at the end because my battery, my SD card went funny over there, and I don't know if you caught it. If you did, you'll never get to see this because I'll cut it out. But a lady come up to us with a dog, very polite, you know what I mean, what you doing type thing. Explained to her I was just testing out a tarp, and she says, you're not allowed to camp here type. I said, oh, I'm not camping. I said, I'm definitely not camping. I said, I've got nothing for camping, no sleeping bag, no out. I said, I explained to her, just testing the tarp out and stuff. And she says, oh, you're on private property. And I thought, how can I be on private property? I've just followed the path, basically. When I came across a locked gate, I left it alone and I kept going round. I came across a wide open gate, right, and saw some people in the distance. So I just followed that, and then I followed it back round, walked round. Oh, she's over there actually with the dog. Yeah, and well, you know the rest, basically, where I stopped. But yeah, I didn't go past any fences. The only fence I went past was that one where there was a step to take you over the fence. No signs anywhere, anything. But I'd explained to her what I was doing and everything. I mean, she was polite enough, but you could tell she wasn't happy. And I said, oh, I won't be here much longer anyhow. I said, I'll probably only be another 20 minutes, half an hour, and that's it, I'll be gone. And then she says, oh, well, my husband will be down to check on you. I said, I won't be here, you know. I mean, she was all right, but she was a little stern, you know what I mean. She could have seen things from my point of view, because I'm just walking and there's not a single sign saying private. And whenever I come across a locked fence, I did not unlock it, didn't even attempt to. Alright. And you could tell it was all fenced off, most of it, but the bits where I could just walk, I walked. You get me? And then that field, it's not as if anything was growing in it. It was just a marshland of overgrown grass. It wasn't. I mean, maybe they use it for grazing cows at some time of year or something. I don't know, but there was absolutely nothing there, as you could see in the video. But anyway, no big deal. Just one of them things. But yeah, so yeah, I'm going to leave this one here. Hope you enjoyed. Just a bit of fun, so to speak. I just wanted to test out that tarp and the hammock, but I didn't get a chance to test the hammock. So, hey ho, as my brother would say. Okay then, paddlers. Hope you enjoyed something different, and I'll catch you later. Cheers.